I want to show you what I'm doing here, and what I'm doing is putting down ground cover here, and all I'm doing is pulling up all of this stuff here, right, and putting it down. And what that's going to do is put down this really thick ground cover here to stop stuff from growing up, and to keep stuff like this here is a kind of Japanese melon that I have growing, right? Maybe even see a melon on it. I think I saw a melon somewhere. Where are you? There it is. Right there. Is that melon there? And I want it to be able to grow out here. So by putting down ground cover, and I'm going to work this whole area here and see what this looks like in a little bit. So this, I've just started, this little patch here is what I've moved. I'm going to move all of this here. I'm going to work down here. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Important to wear gloves. You got to wear gloves, otherwise you're going to cut your hands. And all I'm doing, I'll show you. Let's show you a little bit here. The hardest thing I always have with an iPad is how to set it up. They're just useless. But wherever I see stuff growing, you want to just, well, this one's hard. Pull it up by the roots, right? By just pulling it up, and you're going to find this stuff's pretty hard. So I've just pulled up this weed. I really don't want this growing, and I'm just laying it down. It's that easy. So anything that I don't want, I basically just pull up by the roots, and then this is why, in a way, pulling up weeds is a lot better than weed whacking them. And I'll show you how easy it is. Now what I do is I kneel down so I'm not bending over, and I'm just using my biceps, right? So if you want to get yourself some knee pads, I'm wearing 3 pairs of pants. I've got jeans on, I've got these thick pants I usually wear, and I've got my overall on today, right? So these are my multi-night overall I've had for 4 years doing permaculture, and you can look at them. They look like they've been working, right? And all I'm doing here is just getting down close to the ground, right? And just pulling up. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here, give you an idea. I'm just pulling up from really close to the ground, and I get a big fistful. Now, if I come across some kudzu, right? Some kudzu here, right? Here's something you can easily, really clever you can do with it. You can basically, kudzu is really strong. So what I'll do is I'm going to use it like a binding string. So I'm just going to start wrapping it with this vine, right? And I'm just wrapping up the kudzu and using the kudzu to tie it together. So as you can see here, look at that. I pulled up the pieces, I wrap with kudzu, and then all I do is I put it down. I can put it down one way, and then I can start putting it down the other way. You know, it's a great workout. I've been putting on a little weight. I've been doing too much found up stuff on the computer. I haven't been out in the farm enough. As you can see, I'm getting a little fatter. So today, it's my found up workout, right? Found up workout. I'm working out doing found ups. There's something beautiful about being out in nature, and today's a perfect day. It's not, you know, it's overcast. This is global dimming, by the way. This is particle pollution from China that's cooling the farm here and making it bearable to work. So thank you, China, for your global dimming. And I got to get back to work. So I've cleared this area. I've done my morning workout. And now what I'm going to do is go over it with the weed whacker, cut it even lower, and I'm actually going to weed whack over there because it's just too thick to pull up. And you see that grass? You can't pull that grass up. Bamboo and grass, and that's why bamboo and grass, you're going to need a weed whacker. But as you can see here, I've got lots of material that I've placed there. The other thing too is I've started placing material underneath my watering pipe, right, to basically stop stuff from growing up around it. And I just keep repeating the cycle until I get control. And you know, ground cover does work. I don't have a lot of weeds growing up in here just because I put lots of ground cover in there. All this stuff is growing up from around, and I need to work and tie all this up because all this is going to grow up over this. So this is Fuji wisteria, right? awesome bee plant that I planted from seed. It's growing up on here, and this grassy stuff here needs to be pulled up. And this is this what's called? It's kind of like a strawberry raspberry tree, right? It has those awesome fruit on it that I was eating in June. So, and you can see my tomatoes in there. I got to go by and pick all my tomatoes. You can see a lot of my little tomatoes growing up in here, right? See the tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes. Some big tomatoes up under there. I don't know if you can see it in there. Big tomato growing. So I got tomatoes here. I got lots more tomatoes here. I can start collecting this when the seed for your hyssop starts to turn brown like this. Means we can start to collect it. So all of this is going to be amazing. Tons of seed. Awesome seed. This is very happy. Look at the size. Look at the size of this wisteria, Fuji. Only if you have bees and pollinators will it get this big. Otherwise, it's going to stay small and short. It doesn't get pollinators. What people don't realize is bees actually increase the size of your plant. It's kind of like having sex. We get really excited. Here's some more tomatoes. Look at the size of this big old giant tomato here I got growing. Right? This would be like a $1.30 tomato in Japan. And show you around here. And I'm going to whack. The thing is too, you got to be careful. That's a dragonfly. But when you're cutting and stuff in here, you can have wasps. So you have to always be looking around. If you start seeing wasps moving around, they'll come up. When you get close to them, then you need to back off, because if you hit a wasp nest, and especially if it's a giant Japanese hornet nest out in here, you're in big trouble. It will kill you. So there is danger. I'm about to cut this down with a weed whacker, and there is, there could be hornets and stuff in here. And this may be the last video you ever see of me. But look at all my tomatoes here, too. Look at all these tomatoes I'm going to pick. Isn't that great? Alrighty, I got to pick some tomatoes. So I have harvested some tomatoes. This would be over $30 worth of tomatoes in Japan. So that's like me just making $30 in under 30 minutes. But, I don't make $30 30 minutes every time because I got to grow them. But picking them, right, is the fun part. And I've weed whacked. As you can see, I've gone back and weed whacked a little bit more. Just enough. This is enough for today. If you do this every day or little bits every day, you'll basically transform your field into paradise. I'm gonna have that coffee. Remember, when you drink that coffee, this coffee can change the world simply by choosing to support, like, follow, invest in by earning stakes into Found Ups. This coffee is really no different than my permaculture farm. It's no different than renewable energy or solar farm. The only difference is when I'm finished drinking this coffee, it's done with. But when I use this coffee to launch a Found Up, it's there forever, right? Think about it. Temporary, permanent. Which is a better investment? Go to foundups.com and help me change the world with Found Ups. Start living your own Found Up lifestyle, sharing it like I am on the web. And together, we can and we will save our planet. Because you and I, are the only ones who are going to do it. My name is Michael Trout. Oh, I'm headed to the beach now. That's part of the Found Up lifestyle. I'm going to go to the beach and go swimming and cool off. I did throw away the coffee. Just for those who are like, oh my God, he threw the coffee. He's polluting. No, that was just a gesture.